Hey y'all, good evening and happy Saturday, and most importantly, happy first day of fall 2023. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be covering the topic of relationships and how sometimes the obstacles that are us end up impacting those relationships with, our prospective life partners. So, with it, a couple weeks ago, you all got to meet Blue, and we talked about just some of her feelings about a special someone that's been in her life for a long time, Milton. Tonight, when we talk about relationships, I'm going to cover a little bit more, showing you the vulnerability of Blue with this snippet, but more so in terms of how overall sometimes us being our own obstacles ends up impacting our relationships. So this one, it definitely means a lot to me, because of just how personal it is, and things that I'm continuing still to kind of evolve through. So let's hear from Blue and some of the thoughts in her mind. And I look forward to hearing your commentary. Please, please, please share in the comment section what you thought of tonight's episode, and just some of your insights as far as how have you been your own obstacle when it's come to your relationships. If you've been successful and you don't have those obstacles anymore, please share with some of us that are still working through it. Share with us how you've been able to get through that. So without further ado, here we go. When Blue was with Milton, her emotions and thoughts felt like water steadily flowing from a spigot. Blue welcomed and appreciated this feeling. The feeling of being vulnerable with another person who listened and willingly shared their trials, their tribulations, their tests, and their testimonies. Sometimes after they talked, Blue felt afraid that she might reveal too much and inadvertently run Milton off. She was also fearful that she might end up being the IED, blowing up something potentially good. She was not trying to jinx herself, but she had lost too many people that she cared about, and it made her afraid to allow herself to go there with anyone else. For that same reason, it also made her afraid, particularly, not to go there with Milton. Even though she felt that she'd always been connected with him, she didn't want this opportunity to slip past her a second time. Sometimes when they talked, Blue cried. It wasn't a sad cry, but rather a refreshing cry, cleansing all the doubt and fear away that she has successfully compartmentalized. In her professional line of work, she felt that she had to keep her baggage down, tucked far away, so that that would not come out at the wrong time when she was supposed to be helping other people. There was so much that they talked about concerning one another's life that Blue felt like she could tell him anything and everything, and Milton would not judge her. Blue felt that what she told him, he also was able to echo those sentiments, so that was really special to her. Milton's words were like the calm after the storm that had been her life. She had not had a relationship with a man like this in a long time. The last time was actually with him before she left for Iraq. He had gotten her through some pretty challenging periods emotionally in her life. Their nuances were sometimes remarkably similar. She was a night owl more times in a week than not, and he was a super night owl, probably because of his work in law enforcement, both in the military and as a civilian. Milton and Blue often had gone to midnight movies, which she loved. They weren't just going out to go out. They were going, enjoying each other and enjoying something together that encouraged more good conversations and more memories to reflect on later. The times they spent together were the foundation of even better memories, particularly when they were unexpected. If she had late night munchies, he already knew by some weird telepathy. Even if he didn't know, he was always kind enough to ask, "Hey, do you need anything? I'm headed over." Before and after Milton, Blue catered to her boyfriend's wants, or at least what she thought that they wanted. In some instances, they assumed they knew what she wanted without even factoring in who she was or what she actually might desire. They didn't see her. They made her feel as if they were not interested in seeing her, but merely interested in what she could do for them. Some did not see her because she presented another side of herself, which wasn't always an accurate portrayal of the authentic Blue. For an extended period, Blue had doubted her worth as a woman and sometimes her value as a person. She often felt misunderstood and even invisible. She thought that some people underestimated her and her worth, while others overestimated her. When she did not put her worth in herself as a primary, it caused her to try to make herself fit what others, or what she thought that others, wanted her to do, wanted her to be, and wanted her to know. Sometimes it worked out for everyone in a good way. At least that's what Blue convinced herself most times. Other times it did not. And Blue felt that she needed to pick up the pieces of the aftermath since it was somehow her fault that things went awry. Blue found herself apologizing to people in instances where she may not have even been at fault. It was often easier to go along just to get along. It only left Blue feeling literally blue. All right, so that's tonight's snippet, and thank you for allowing a little bit of vulnerability for Blue as well as for me with sharing that with you. Some of the things as far as theme wise that I really want you to consider with this snippet, and you'll see more of this throughout the book once you get a chance to read the whole book. But vulnerability and emotional flow is one of the main ones. Being vulnerable, feeling safe enough to be vulnerable with somebody else, and them being able to actually embrace that and take care of that and not take advantage of it. The fear and the risk in relationships. Once again, being vulnerable to take that chance on a new relationship, to get to know someone, to let them get to know who you are, the true you. And then one of the other things is the desire for connection and authenticity. Connection is a human thing. It's innate in us. We were not designed to be an island of one. We were designed to be in community. And having that connection a lot of times is also dependent upon, are you bringing your authentic self? Are you bringing your best self? Is that other person bringing their authentic self? Or like we say these days, are they keeping it 100 with you? But most importantly, are you keeping it 100 with yourself before you even interact with other people? And then another theme is the past trauma that we have. And when people think of trauma, they're thinking something violent, something just huge and all that. Some of the trauma is emotional trauma, and that baggage that all of us have in some shape or form. Some type of past trauma. Some deal with it better, but how that influences our relationships and how we show up in those relationships. Also, navigating professional and personal life. Whew! I could do a whole nother, talk, T with D, I guess you could say on that one. But then we also have the misunderstanding of our own self-perception and how we work through that, And then last but not least, communicating and understanding. Being able to communicate to others what we need, what we desire, and keeping those boundaries by communicating what we don't need, what we don't desire, what we won't put up. So those are some of the themes with it. With this content, basically just delving a little bit into Blue's emotional journey and showing you just her desire for that genuine connection, the fear of those past traumas, and the struggle to balance between her professional life, her personal life, and those emotions. Also, just most importantly, emphasizing the importance of those authentic communications and that understanding in relationships, particularly that relationship with yourself. So thanks for joining tonight. I look forward to providing some more content on the book. And please, please, please put your comments in the section. I look forward to hearing from you all, and I appreciate you taking this brief time out to sit with me and just kind of take it in. Have a good evening and have a blessed weekend. Not goodbye, but bye for now.